as for Damon word for the strike, let's go to him now. So we both know that in terms of weight and height, he has the advantage. And if we were actually to like, I think it's kind of unfair, like because there are actually so far like only 4 episodes of Strike, and not to mention that they're not even 10 minutes, but that's okay. But I think we can actually catch a few things from this one. So his height is not as tall as Paragon, but I don't think that really matters right now. But there might be a future reference of what I'm gonna do. I might be doing Paragon a bit, but his weight is actually, if we were to judge the weight by his belly, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry, Just, but he might be he might actually weight a lot. And but the thing is that even if he weighs a lot, but he's still pretty darn strong. Like first, he actually trained for police academy, and we can see him cranking push-ups, and he's actually doing actually pretty good. Like, if we were to judge that by push-ups alone, well, that'll be pretty interesting. Cause, hey, Josh, like, let's go for a push-up. but like we actually saw Damon Ward doing push-ups with the others, with his two friends, or two people at least in the scene, and I think he was running too. I don't really remember much, but he was actually doing really well. But he was discharged unfortunately, and so he kind of had to struggle. So and one of his struggle, he also mentioned to the therapist, played by the Miss. He said that he was doing boxing. Now we really don't know exactly what kind of boxing style he is. We might compare the boxing between Kevin Adler and Damon Ward because they both actually know something about boxing actually. But back to Damon Ward or Strike. So he mentioned that he learned boxing, but the thing is that there are like a lot of variation for boxing. All right, so there are Mike Tyson where he weaves a lot in close distance, tight guard, and called the peekaboo styles in order to slip his opponent and make the punch out of it. Use the weaving to boost the punch. That's one variation, and we have another which is Muhammad Ali. If you actually saw the earlier part career of Muhammad Ali, he was actually circling around the opponent. He used the Ali shuffle and then right attack like that. Like it's categorized as one of the variation of outboxing, and Mike Tyson's is one of the variation for swimmer, in fighting or anything like that. And then there's like Manny Pacquiao, who's capable of in fighting where he can fight the opponent literally, but he's also capable of like outboxing where he's able to circle the not necessarily circle, but his footwork is actually really good. So there are actually lots of variations. So if I were to assume what his fighting style actually is, I'm definitely assume that he is a hybrid guy. What do you mean by hybrid? Hybrid is like Manny Pacquiao in fighting and outboxing in one style like there. But if I were to assume about what kind of style he's gonna use, he'll definitely have to use like outboxing because listen here. So Paragon, he'll definitely have to fight Strike at some point, and Strike does not really want to get caught really easily. So for the very least, if running is the only arsenal he got, he definitely has to use outboxing because outboxing is basically making sure that you avoid your opponent most of the time and all that. But that's just my assumption, but it might be pretty worth it. So now we know that Kevin Adler from the YouTube video is definitely gonna get stomped for real or anything. But the StoryFire is definitely a different thing. So first, so on the first season of this movie Project School thing, or should I say Infinite Fight now, he survived a head being smashed to a wall, and that was done by Armin. I think he smashed it like I kind of forgot kind of forgot because I'm not looking at the story right now, but he survived his head getting smashed to the wall twice, and he got and when he were and when he's still alive, he was being thrown. His head is he was being thrown to the floor, and he got punched really hard towards the floor as well, and presumably he has to be punched really bad. But although he definitely went to the clinic right after because he was unconscious, but let's face the fact, he definitely survived that, and that is even I think that's kind of crazy for a bit. Like if like tell me right now, if you like if you got your head smashed to the wall, do you think like not once but many times, and then right after that you got punched to the ground, do you think you're gonna survive that? Because I really doubt that I'm gonna survive that. I look back and I don't think I'm gonna survive that one. It's a huge miracle that he actually survived that one right now. Like even as a writer, that's crazy. But he still went to the clinic though, so it proved that he's not exactly Superman or Paragon. Get to that in a second. And another thing, like he managed to, I think it was a week after the fight. I kind of forgot, but I didn't write the date. But that's definitely one thing for sure. Like a week after that, like he managed to punch Armin in the jaw. One punch, and Armin fell down already. Like there's actually no fight going on, but he managed to hurt Armin. Like Armin was more than just flinching at that point. His jaw got hurt. Like it's not exactly broken, but it actually hurt him and made him feel uncomfortable. Like he had to wear a bandage the next day. So as for his punching power, he definitely has a very dangerous quality for normal human, that is. And right after that, there's actually a car crash that was being pointed towards him. He he got crashed by a car, and he had to go to the hospital. But the thing about the thing that actually kind of made him tough a little bit. I'm not boosting my character, but like he's able to, I don't know, he's definitely in treatment for just a few days, and he was discharged from the hospital, so he's able to go back. Instead of healing from the hospital, he was actually being taught by his teacher named Winston Jameson, and he's able to walk again. When I thought about it again, it's kind of bullshit. It's kind of like an asspull. I did an asspull on my character, but I'm gonna admit it. But he's able to at least walk. I don't know. He definitely didn't run, but he could definitely walk at least. Walk to the point that he's able to meet Andrew, Adam, and everyone else again to go to the abandoned house. And that's probably at least 1 week after a car crash. So so yeah, I should probably praise him for that one. And let's see. I don't know. So ever since the abandoned house arc of ever since the season 2, there's actually not much going on right now. Like even in Zero Tolerance, The Hunting, which is season 3, written by me and Damon, there's not really much going on for Kevin Adler and such, except for the fact that he actually managed to punch Armin in the rib, and he also survived getting punched in the face by Armin. But that's nothing crazy to go about because it's pretty much just one punch, and they're not even that serious. So yeah, there's not really much going on. Like Zero Tolerance season 3, you like there's nothing to draw about. But as for the season 3, this is exactly where things are about to go crazy. So we all know that Kevin Adler actually trained in some place, and thanks to that training, he managed to outrun Adai, who's supposed to be one of the greatest athlete of all time, and he managed to outrun him. After he freaking fought, he managed to outrun Ade like crazy, like everything like that. And right after the race, I'll say I kind of forgot 4 or 3 hours later, when there's a fire and it was only him and Brad, one of the monster in fighting. He definitely managed to break Brad's ribs. Like he used his punch and he's capable of breaking Brad's ribs. Like so that's like literally the highest. So he can outrun one of the fastest, and he managed to destroy Brad's ribs. No, I'm not saying that Ada is actually literally the fastest, but Ada is actually one of the greatest athlete, one of them. But of course, I didn't mention that Kevin Adler is usually armed because he never was armed. Like he even brought only walkie-talkie about it, walkie-talkie or phone to the abandoned house, and he didn't even bring a gun. Well, Strike actually brought many things that could actually help him to fight. Like his Google and his mask, he used it to keep his identity a secret. And I didn't, and I think he also brought weapons. Like I kind of forgot because I wasn't able to watch the StoryFire video again. God damn it, I should have taken note. But the like he has like knives. I kind of forgot. I think he has knives and or guns, either of them. But he definitely was armed, one thing for sure. He has great equipment for fighting to make sure that he's actually protected at all times. So, if we were to talk about Damon Ward as Strike in with his gears against Kevin Adler, who literally got nothing, I mean, Damon Ward will definitely have the advantage. Not to mention his weight and height, but the thing, like we've like I said, like he has only been gone for like 4 episodes, and so we didn't really see much of Demon Ward fighting, but we can actually see him catching thieves or bad guys on a regular basis, like no problem at all. And if I were to think about what Kevin Adler would do, like I don't think that he'll be doing the same thing because he usually fights only when a real danger is actually arising, and bad guys or anything like that is not exactly a real deal to him. But he still do it anyway, and he has no problem with it. I don't think that's something Kevin Adler is more than willing to do or anything like that. So there's no way that Kevin that he will be, he'll be bored sooner, and getting bored sooner is actually kind of dangerous. So Demon War might actually stand a chance better against Kevin Adler. But at the same time, like even though we've actually seen him kicking ass, but we've never really seen him getting beaten up or destroyed either. Like he did meet Paragon, yeah, no doubt, but Paragon only talked to him, and that's pretty much it. Like there's no fight, there's nothing. But if we were to assume the future, he definitely will survive. But even if Strike will not survive against Paragon in the future, but it's still pretty safe to say that there's no way that Strike is actually gonna be just staying the same as in episode 1 to 4. Like he's gonna be training really hard to make sure that he just simply didn't die way sooner than he had actually anticipated against Paragon, because Paragon's definitely gonna have to kill Strike at some point. I mean, his decision is actually gonna have to kill Strike, and Strike is gonna be in a huge danger. A lot of things, many aspects from many way different perspective of how Paragon's gonna kill Strike. He's gonna have to make a lot of scenarios. While Kevin Adler, on the other hand, doesn't have that, and he doesn't actually see a reason of why he should be crazy overpowered like Batman or anything like that. I mean, Strike is basically Batman on the StoryFire or original, but the thing is that Kevin Adler is by no means gonna be doing some crazy shit like what Strike's gonna do. But but if we want to use available feats, which is three 3 seasons of Kevin Adler and 4 episodes of Strike, well, Kevin Adler might actually stand a chance against Strike, at least like especially if Strike is not armed, like they were just doing hand-to-hand combat, like Kevin Adler might at least have a chance if not overpowering him. But the thing about this is that Strike has many equipments such as especially goggles and mask, and there'll be a huge trouble for Kevin Adler, especially the fact that he doesn't really have equipment. But you can actually see that Kevin Adler pretty much survived a lot of shit, right? For example, getting smashed to the wall or anything like that, smashed 2 times and then being punched to the ground maybe 1 or 2 times. But if Strike really want to defeat Kevin Adler, he really needs to kill him. Kevin Adler might actually have to do the same thing. If they're gonna fight to the death, like Strike will both of them will have to go all out and all that. But the all out might be again variative. Like if Kevin Adler wishes to survive, if they have to kill each other, well, he's gonna have to make sure that he doesn't get killed by the knives or guns, or if he has them, and he has to destroy the Google's or masks, or at least remove them. But if Strike wants to kill Kevin Adler, it's gonna be easier because if he has weapons, he can just use them. But even if he doesn't have the weapons, his Google or mask might actually help him. But even if he doesn't, he still have the weight advantage. So yeah, I'll say that Strike still wins in this one, but Kevin Adler by no means is not going to be defeated very easily as well, because he pretty much destroyed Brad's strips and all that. If Strike is punching power is the same as Brad and has no equipment at all, well, okay, maybe that one maybe Strike's downfall, because he pretty much like kind of underestimated him. But assuming that he has weapons, there's actually a higher chance for beating Kevin Adler. He has to freaking kill him, like for real. If he doesn't, well, Kevin Adler will do the same, kill him, destroy his ribs, and that's over. Yeah, that's pretty confusing and all that, but I hope you guys understand the conclusion from this. Like, there are actually lots of variations. If you on completely unarmed Strike against Kevin Adler, you can definitely go with either of them. But I'll say Kevin Adler because, well, the destroying the ribs are actually pretty crazy feat. But if you want to go with like additional weapons and even goggles and mask, well, you already know the conclusion. Strike is gonna win. I hope you guys have a nice day. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I might be doing Paragon or even Jeremiah from Winter's Edge, but who knows what I'm gonna do next. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you guys later.
To help us heal, I don't wanna have regret. That's what pushes me to get everything I wanna get. Work with every single breath, yeah. I know that we all have fear. In the back of our minds we hear the devil that's in our ear.